The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports from the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Let's go.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And that is incomplete. Our game here, the Vikings and Eagles, the second of 2 on this Monday night. The Titans and Bills kicked off a little over an hour ago up in Buffalo. And this, our only Monday night doubleheader of the season, but rumor is might have a few more for 2023. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. When you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing is Hurts. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with Cook. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play quarterback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. In motion comes the tight end left. Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated Bruce. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now throw right side taken in by the tight end Gray. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here's Hurts to throw. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
19 right. 77.
The Another run here with Sanders. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Following the interception, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
66 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And this one too low.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Asamoah in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easy.
Now Cook hit, and he lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And the Eagles are going to take over the yard shy of midfield. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Caught on the slant. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
And it'll be intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
So first and foremost, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit. Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Give him a couple as it brings him. Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
67 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This one fielded at the 5.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They'll look to throw. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Throwing is Hurts. It's caught. Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They go play action with Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, is able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cook now off the read option. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, After we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Sanders. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 115 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
19 Tiger.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They run with a man from La Tech. It's Boston Scott. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll.
Here we go.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Here's Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts got his man complete over the middle. It's Scott. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. This game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now the 2nd-year man, here's Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Okay, ready?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Hurry, hurry!
They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on 3rd down. And they take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try for a better outcome next week as they head to D.C. to take on the Washington Commanders.